morning everybody. Super warm. I'm not sure what the temperature is, probably around 7-8 degrees. Super warm. Pretty much most of the night. Not sure what the temperature is, probably around 7-8 degrees. Rain, obviously it dripped all night from the trees. It rained pretty much most of the night. Super warm. It didn't rain, obviously it dripped all night. I've added a range of blankets to this setup. As you can see, I've got some towels and fleece. I've added a range of blankets to this setup. That's more for the dog. See, I've got a range of blankets towels to protect fleece blankets in here as well from the dog if she got wet. That's more for the dog. A range of blanket was there to protect all my gear. Kind of a bit anal from the dog if she got wet, but she stayed. Got her all clean. Dried and she jumped in. Said she settled down. Anal really, but got her all clean and she jumped gear under quilt 20 underneath of me, and my two. Got the sleeping gear under quilt 20 underneath of me, still joined together. I just laid over me like sleeping bags fully opened. The still synthetic booties on, and my laid over me like an overquilt. The synthetic booties on, and my polar feet. Feet were lovely and warm. Back was lovely and warm. Wasn't cold at all last night. So yeah, I just came out again, another weekend away, and decided to bring my daughter with me. And we bought Bella as well, and we thought we'd try seeing if Bella could actually handle sleeping in a hammock. Didn't turn out too bad actually. She was a bit excited at the beginning. I was really worried about the mosquito screen, but when she settled down, she slept all night, which is really good. Got here fairly late and we set up two tarps over each other, and I put the hammock side by side. So I got the two DD tarps above us. Weird configuration because of the way the trees were. I bought the Moskito Kakoon hammock by Byramane, and I got the Hennessey hammock as well. So I'll see if I can show you what's going on there. Once I get out of bed, make some breakfast, we'll give you a walk around in the camp and what we're going to be doing today. Basically we're going to sit around here, do not a lot today, take the dog for a walk. I'm going to get my daughter to make a fire, flint and steel, and bought some lint and a few other things, and then we'll go from there. And the wanderers return. And this, you know already, is Bella, and there's Allie. And she's going to be making fire today. So this is Allie making fire candles ready to go into the fireplace. So Allie's going to try for the first time flint and steel with lint, and let's see what happens. Hey, you got it. Well done. Now put a fire stick on. Just put it on there gently and let's get it going. And this is why and how fire sticks work. So what do you think about that?
I guess it's pretty cool. You can, I guess it's just interesting how you can do flint dust and get it to flame.
Was it easy?
No.
Takes practice? You happy you got it going?
Yeah.
So which way do you cut the wood, Ali?
Well, you see, if the lines are this way, you cannot cut it this way because you're gonna mess up all of configuration.
Okay, so which is the best way to cut it?
The way the lines are going. So, for the lines, you should just follow them because it's easier to cut through.
Cool. So we've got the fire going nicely now.
Bacon.
Bacon and hash browns on the frying pan and a pot of water boiling for the tea. So, embers are coming up really nicely, got the toast on. We are using the reusable Kakoon grilling sheet. I've showed this in a previous video and they are back in fashion again. Home Depot sells them. I think they're around $13 for a big sheet. We cut ours in half and it's not quite in. It doesn't need to be in the flame, it's got to be closer to the embers. And you can see it does toast amazingly. Okay, a little bit of burn, but that's my fault. But you can see even the griddle pattern in the toast. And that's the griddle from here, and it comes through the Kakoon cooking sheet. It's a great invention, and we buy probably 2 a year just in case they go out of fashion. And we want to make sure that we keep them. We actually love these Kakoon sheets. We cook bacon on them. I just happen to have all the frying pan here, so I just threw it all in there today. Alright, well, we're going to eat breakfast.
Yay!
There we have it. Bacon, hash browns and toast. So this is our weird top configuration with our hammocks inside. So 2 DD tops. And our 2 hammocks inside. So on the right is the Hennessey and on the left is the Moskito Kakoon with the incubator 20 underneath, and with the Hennessey we have the Hennessey insulation pad underneath. This is just our foot mat that we stand on. I just put them up here, so this is the sort of a open cell foam that they've got going on. And that is connected with elastics up at the top here. Has a different system with the Hennessey. It has a rope that you're supposed to do figure 8s on, but I actually put some O-rings in there and some Amsteel blue, and same at the other end. So with the Hennessey, the downside is you have to get in from underneath. You move the mat out the way, and then you open up the hammock, and then you're inside. Same configuration, and then you have your Amsteel blue on our Merlin spike at the very top with our toggle. I'm going to play around with this today, and I'm going to see if I can clean this all up because it's a bit of a mess, but it kept us dry. So I switched the side around a little bit, expecting Sandra from the SA Survival to turn up today as well. And so that means 3 hammocks. I've got Ali, Sandra and myself. So I've completely made up the Hennessey with the cat cut top. That's where Ali's going to be, and later on we'll put it in porch mode so she can see the fire. So you can see the Hennessey in there. I've made a tarp shelter because this is just a leisurely weekend away. So we got this nice tarp shelter. It was raining earlier, so we can just chill out and just do nothing. And what I did is I moved the Hennessey from the big shelter here, and I put the DD Traveler hammock in with a incubator 20 from Hammock Gear, and again the Kakoon with the Hammock Gear underquilt and the 2 DD tops. So we should be lovely and warm today. The soup today is a dal mix potato and split pea soup with, I've added some rice and some broccoli and cauliflower in there that was grilled the other day, so I just thrown it in there as a thickener. Can't wait to try it. Not sure if you can see me, but we had dinner. Sorry, I forgot to video that. But we got a raging fire now. And we'd like to welcome to the table Mrs. SA Survival, Sandra!
Hello, everyone.
And then we have Ali over here.
Hi.
Who fell in the river. She was on a rope swing. Totally soaking wet boots. And then we have over here Bella the dog! Here she is! And the raging fire. And the drying pants. And the drying Gore-Tex combat boots down here.
They're soaked.
Morning on the second day of our hammock camp, and it was cold last night, as in outside temperature, but lovely and warm in the hammock. And I didn't have Bella in with me last night, who is right here, because Bella went to slept with Sandra.
Good morning, everyone. She was nice and toasty warm. We were cuddled up in our hammock for the night, and it's approximately 7:15, so we had a great night. But unfortunately, with my underquilt, didn't quite work well with this one hammock that we have, so we're going to try some other ones and see if it keeps me warm anyways. But Bella was nice and warm, all wrapped up with her blankets and that, so we just have to do some alterations and figure out which hammock will work best with my underquilt. The underquilt was not close to the hammock, it was moving all over. We tried to adjust it during the night, about 3-4 hours into sleep. It seemed to work fine then, so it will take a while to configure to which hammock goes best with the underquilts.
Well, I found the same problem with this Incubator 20. When I first had it, I didn't actually use it for about 8 months. We never went hammock camping because we bought a new trailer, but the issue was I wasn't comfy with it. It's like it needed more down, and that was my solution at that time, was to put more down in it, and I haven't done that yet. But with this Kakoon hammock, I didn't need to. It was like night and day. It was like it fitted this hammock brilliantly. And Sandra's in the DD Traveler hammock, and I think I used that one once as well, and it didn't quite warm up, and I was like disappointed with the underquilt. And I've heard a couple of reviews out there on YouTube that you know, after modifying the underquilt to fit tighter or looser, it was way better. And I think that's what we've got to do with Sandra's. It was like it was below the hammock itself, but it wasn't touching the bottom of the hammock, so it wasn't performing. I have to adjust the width adjustments because it's not around her feet in the hammock. It's more like it's underneath of the hammock. And with hers being red, it's a bit easier to see. But if you look at her feet, the hammock underquilt is underneath of the hammock. And you can see the green or the brown, as it might look in the video here, that the hammock itself is above the underquilt. So I need to adjust that. The top is working fine, it's underneath of her. The width adjustment at the very top is tight, so there's no air creating a tunnel effect. And you can just see where the Moskito screen is, where the quilt is. It's all nicely lofted. But she said she wasn't hot at all last night, so at 3 AM we actually got out and readjusted it, and she actually jumped in her sleeping bag because I'd convinced her to just use her sleeping bag as a quilt, to my disappointment at 3 AM when she was upset because she was cold. But now she's inside, so we're not sure if the sleeping bag has insulated her and kept her warm with her down jacket on, or the underquilt did work a little bit. So the next test will be to adjust it. I might have an adjustment before she gets out in a bit, and then she won't know any benefits from that because we won't be staying here much longer. I've got to get home, I've got to wake up Allie, and she's got to go do her paper round. So it's going to be an early morning, get going, and if I can adjust this hammock underquilt in a minute or two, I will do a quick review again, just to let you see the difference. Temperature we think is about +3, +2. It definitely didn't freeze last night, but it was definitely a lot colder. I could feel it on my nose. My nose was cold this morning. So I did modify Sandra's underquilt. I brought it up under her feet here. The problem we're having is it was a bit saggy here, and you can just see there's a little bit here. I've adjusted, these are the lengthening straps, so they pull it up closer to the hammock, and these ones are the ones that bring it closer into the fabric so that there's no draft tunnel here. And the same this end. I actually opened this out a bit so that it could go around her feet, and pulled this one up, but you can see her feet are about here. And next time we try it, we're going to leave it set up for this hammock and see if it works. But again, that's one thing I had a problem with originally when I had mine. I was freezing twice, and I thought there was a problem with the underquilt. Needed more stuffing in there, lofting down, and yeah, now it seems to work. I'm out of my hammock, and you can see that tunnel that I was talking about right here, which is what you don't want. But when you're in it, it actually shuts down, and that's what seals all the holes, and you get nice and warm. I said it was around 2 degrees. I just checked in the car, it was actually -1, and there is frost. There's a bit of water in there, but there's a bit of ice on the inside of the tops, so it did get cold. That's why my nose was cold. So breakfast was made on the Fancy Feast stove. It's already been put out. I got my grease pot. Inside of it's cozy to keep the water hot, and we're having instant oatmeal, peaches and cream. What I want to talk about very quickly is the addition that I'm going to make to the Fancy Feast. I know this one was out of a Red Bull can, and some guys and ladies have been commenting on different products to use. The one that I found that I'm going to use, and I did it once as a gift to my son, was this Vienna sausage in a can. The reason why I like this is because it has a rolled lip. And I'm going to cut, if I can get this right, I'm going to cut the bottom out of it. I'm going to use this as the pot stand, and I'll drill the hole in the top. And it's quite shallow. It's got some jello still on there, but you can see it's got ribs in it, so it's going to be stronger. It's tin, so it should work out really well. It did for my son, and it helped him out. It was really good. It's a little bit taller as well, so if I put them side by side, it should work out just perfectly for a pot stand inside of the Fancy Feast can. We're all cleaned up, site's all ready to go. There's a lot of garbage at this site which we'll clean up as we leave, and everything's down. Sandra's had hers, Allie's had hers.
Not really.
Her boots are still wet considering she fell in the river, and I'm about to eat mine, and we're going to say goodbye. See you on the next camping trip. Enjoy. Get out, survive, be alive. So everybody, I did make that modification to the Fancy Feast with the Vienna sausage tin. You can see I've got a hole on one side and I got a hole on the other side. That's to make it breathe. I'm going to show you a comparison right now between the two. I do have fiberglass in between of the Fancy Feast and the Vienna sausage tin. It does have a rolled lip like I explained. So there's going to be a really strong tin. Add a few more milligrams if you want to call it that. But I'll quickly compare it between the Fancy Feast I made with the Red Bull can and this one. So that's the height difference, not that much in it. The Red Bull can is a little more flexible or a little bit weaker, however you want to say it, but it will hold, you know, as it's been proven, it holds a big pot. This one, definitely more sturdier, it's not so flexible, and super easy to put a pot on. I'm now just going to top this up with a little bit of fuel. So the wick has all absorbed the fuel now. This is just a simple empty pot. I'm just going to put it straight on top, and hopefully we get to see the displacement of the flame around the bottom of the pot. And a nice even displacement, even for a big pot like this. Not going to leave that on too long. Well, I hope you enjoyed that presentation of the weekend away and the modification for the fancy feast. I think it's a pretty good modification, and I've enjoyed it in the past with the previous one that I made and then gave away, and I'm looking forward to using this one. Well, thank you very much. Please subscribe if you like these videos, and keep on watching. Until next time,